Welcome everybody to the end report for 2022. I'm Schuil, co-founder and CEO of Safello.
And I'm Johan, Edin, CFO.
All right, let's jump in. Matt behind, helping with the production. Thanks, Matt. All right, next slide. So if we look at the key events of Q4, the big thing we launched with the capital insurance was the institutional custody service, where we signed on 2 financial institutions, which of course been a pillar for the last year and continuing into 2023. We also reached a milestone of 3,000 users, and in light of some of the events in the market, we decided to launch our proof of reserves, safello.com/proof of reserves, where we show all our holdings. If we go to the next slide, you can look at our user numbers have been growing at a steady pace. Same with the other metrics for the company. If we can go forward to the next slide, this is a kind of visual representation of this trend line being effectively intact. If you look from all the way back from our growth in 2018 when I launched our Bank ID switch setup. So next slide. If we look at the objectives for 2023, as I mentioned, a pillar of that, one of the most important pillars is our move towards financial institutions, where we successfully signed with Hubben's distribution, insurance distributor, as well as Quantum Leben, the life insurance company, to put this unique capital insurance product into the market, where we're now seeing the first volume. At the same time, despite the fact that we've been optimizing our cost across the board, we've been able to keep pace on the product innovation side, both on that part of the equation as well as on the retail platform. That after the Q4 we launched, for instance, the new cryptocurrencies, stablecoin, USDC, Algorand, and Uniswap. So no major changes between the objectives that we had from Q4 last year. That they will remain the same. We see the biggest opportunity to move into this financial institutional space, where we're seeing the first signs of success. Moving to the next slide, a bit about the market sentiment. Obviously, it's been what we could consider a bear market the last year, and that's where it's always good to look at the relative performance of the company. So we have this index number starting 2 years back, and there you can clearly see that Safello has been outperforming the general market, which has been going down significantly more than Safello has. So those were a short one for me. I'm sure that we're going to have some Q&A questions, I hope, and I'll hand it over to Johan to talk about the financials.
Oh, thank you, Frank. Yeah, I think we can just comment on this slide that we're still on, that we actually saw an increase from Q3 to Q4 in terms of orders, as well in terms of volume. So that's quite positive in a pretty rough quarter if you look at the wider market. Next slide, please. So just summing up the quarterly financials, year on year we were down 32%, but one should remember that Q4 21 was quite exceptional in terms of volume and pricing, and obviously pricing also impacts the volume. So I think it's still quite an okay result, and it's, as I mentioned, up a few million compared to Q3. Gross profit decreased 10%, which is largely helped by the withdrawal fees that we introduced during Q3. So they contributed about 2.2 million to an 8 million total. The EBITDA, again, improvement from last year, as the reductions in personnel we did during Q2 are sort of having an impact in Q4, and we'll see the full impact in I guess early this year. So EBITDA was a negative 2 million compared to 6.2 last year. Operating profit, or EBIT, we saw a negative 3 million versus 7.2 last year. The cash balance, and this is perhaps what we feel is a strong performance for the quarter, was 21.3 million. It was 21.7 in the third quarter of 22. Compared to last year, clearly a lower cash position, 31.9 we had then. But I still think we've managed to stop the cash bleeding, if you like, and we are almost cash flow neutral. In addition to the cash, we also have crypto holdings for the long term that are valued at 4.9 in our books. The market value as of 1 or 2 days ago was 6.2 million. So there's been an uptick since year end, and the total then is 26.2 versus 42 last year. But still, I think it's a sign that we are moving in the right direction. Cost savings have been implemented, and we're continuously monitoring costs and trying to stay lean and mean. And the withdrawal fees have been important, but we're also hopeful for the institutional custody services that have been launched and other initiatives that we are working on. So our primary focus will remain to have efficient operations and still retain and expand our position in Sweden. Next slide, please. Yeah, just to mention on the OpEx in general, we can see the staff reduction impact from Q2 to Q4 on the right-hand side of the graph. So that's quite significant, but it's also, we have hired a few consultants to cover for people that are on parental leave. So that's where you see an uptick in the other operating expenses, because that's where that's at. But in general, I think we should continue to see these lower levels of staff costs, at least for the foreseeable future. Next slide, please. Yeah, and this is the quarterly cash balance. And if you look at the sort of hard cash number, we can see that it's really flattening out, and hopefully it will continue to improve. But of course, that's a function of what the market is doing and what volumes we see and what costs we manage to adjust. Good. I think the following slides are just the financial statements, nothing sort of super relevant to point out there, so more for reference. I think then on the balance sheet, not much to comment on either. So I think we'll leave it there. And I think the key takeaway from my part is still that the cash flow improved significantly from, well, last year we used up around 10 million, whereas this year it's 0.4. So with that, I leave it for Q&A, and any comments from Frank?
No, I think you brought it home there. I think our focus on getting to cash flow neutral position is paying off, which obviously is what you need to do in a bear market. This is our third one, so we're kind of used to changing our operations to adjust to market condition, and then actually maintaining a relatively higher volume compared to the rest of the market. So with that, I think we can go to the questions. First one, Javat Maleki. Main question: why the price of digital currency at your platform does not match with the world prices, like TradingView for buying and selling? I don't use your platform just for that. I don't know exactly what you mean by doesn't match. Obviously, we work with liquidity providers, and there might be that you're seeing sometimes a different price from when you log in versus the logged out version, where the price structure that is applicable to your fee structure will show up once you log in. Otherwise, not entirely sure what you mean with prices. We work with the global liquidity providers, and we are tapping into the same liquidity as other brokers in the world. So maybe you have a follow-up question on that, I'm happy to answer. Then second question, Vincent Kolb. Hey, Vincent. Cost saving is good, but this is also impacting the capacity to deliver new improved services. how will these cost reduction impact the capacity to innovate? It does not impact in fact, I would say the opposite. We've actually streamlined the operation, so we're innovating at a faster pace than we were before. That sounds maybe a bit counterintuitive, but the way we structured the sort of project management internally and brought the whole company on the same kind of tools really helped us go faster than we were able to go before. So and then we're of course innovating on both sides. We're both innovating on the retail side. There's quite a few things there that haven't come out yet that we're working on. And then there's of course the financial institutional side, where some of those things are not necessarily visible to everyone, but our institutional partners. But by no means actually have we slowed down. I think we have accelerated on the innovation side. So I'm super happy about that. Do we have any other questions? Let's see. No more questions? Or? No. Anything else we can add? I guess the market sentiment, I think it's going in the right direction from our perspective here. Vincent, how many are you in the team now versus peak time? I'll have Johan answer on the FTE level.
Don't hold me to it, but I think we were 28 going out of 22. And I think we peaked at around 34.
Yeah. So yeah, it's not like we're not working on a skeleton crew here. I think we're still, in terms of headcount, by far the largest crypto brokerage in Sweden, and we are pushing forward on all cylinders. So yeah, what was I saying? Anything about market sentiment that we should comment on? No,
I leave that to you.
I mean, I think the part that we keep repeating ourselves with in terms of the principles that we founded this company on being the Safello in the crypto market. Obviously, so many companies have been exposed to things like FTX fallout, Lunar fallout, and none of that affected us in any way, since we're both diligent about how we do our processes as well, and the compliance, but also on our partners and the diligence that we do on who we work with. So yeah, hopefully that stands out for those who are looking for the right partners to partner up with, where I think Safello stands its ground with how we operate our business. We have another question. Oh, look, it's going. Do you see, from Thai Svensk Ordbook? All right, that's not a real name. Do you see increased interest from institutions? We do, and we're seeing some really interesting inbound requests. And some of the work that we're doing now is also to optimize our platform, and particularly our front end, to better tailor to that. So it's clear that we're not only tailoring to the retail side, which is a little bit hidden away, if you will, on our current website. But yeah, we do see real interest, and of course, we hope to announce some of those type of deals going forward, without commenting on any specific deal that may be in the works.
Good.
All right. Any other questions? It doesn't seem like it. Yeah, maybe I can comment. We've done some more work on the retail side as well with Discord, where we've been managing it a little bit. So I just want to thank everybody in Discord for active participation and engaging with Safello and with our team, and really making that a lively place. I think it's great to see, and it's great to see some engagement there around our stock and the interest in Safello's organization. So I just want to say thank you to everyone who's in those channels. Other than that it's from me. Anything from you, Johan?
No.
All right. Anything from the team here? All right. Smiles and waves. It's Friday. Have a good weekend. Enjoy Sport Love. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.